Nutrition is critical. We, as people, can't live, we can't heal, we don't survive.
Kids are going to be more susceptible to malaria, and the medications for treating malaria are not going to work as well if they have malnutrition. For one of my children or a child who's fed well, an infection they'd be able to fight off, these kids are not able to.
When all you're thinking about is, am I going to be able to feed myself tomorrow? Then your ability to focus on these other things that we're constantly, pushing refugees and people in poverty to think about, they become impossible. You can't think about, how am I going to move forward with my job, or how am I going to graduate from high school, because you're too busy thinking, how am I going to feed myself tomorrow?
It's ubiquitous. East Africa, West Africa, and even in Asia, it doesn't matter. I mean, when you're taking care of sick children, it doesn't matter where you are. It matters the issues that are in front of them. And malnutrition is one of the huge pieces.
And we see people with anemia, either because they don't have enough iron, or because they have malaria, or because they have any number of diseases, parasites. If you start off with anemia, and if you start off with poor protein, you're not going to heal anything.
In a refugee camp for 5, 10, 15 years, which many of the populations that we work with are, it's obvious to us that eating flour, even flour that may have been enriched with some micronutrients, isn't a healthy long-term diet, because people also need to be eating proteins, they need to be eating fruits and vegetables, they need to be getting the micronutrients that come from those food elements, and often the staples that they have access to regularly are sort of these carbohydrate staples.
Once you start with agricultural development, you develop the infrastructure for community building and augmenting communities with schools, markets, healthcare, and the ability to distribute the necessary materials for all those things as well.
Sustainable agriculture really has to be a focus for the G8 and for other sort of governing bodies and for nonprofits and for that whole sort of strata of decision makers, because it's the most logical long-term solution to hunger. Because not only will it provide more food for families on a small amount of land with a small amount of resources now, but it's able to continue doing that for a long time. Access to healthy, affordable, sustainable food is a fundamental basic human right.